welcome to my channel. So in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss various process times. Okay, now we will be discussing the topic CPU scheduling algorithm. Okay, in CPU scheduling, we will be discussing many number of algorithms. Okay, we will be discussing that what are the possible ways in which we can assign one CPU to many number of processes. We will be discussing various algorithms like first come first serve, shortest job first, round robin. Okay, so these are the various ways to assign one CPU to many number of processes. We will try to find out that which is the best possible algorithm, which algorithm is going to give the best output. Okay, we will be discussing that which algorithm is best for the maximum utilization of CPU. Okay, but to find out the best algorithm, firstly we should have some parameter, we should have some criteria on the basis of which we will be deciding that which algorithm is best. Okay, so to find out the best algorithm, we are going to discuss some of the parameters which will be helpful for us to find the best CPU scheduling algorithm. Okay, so whenever your process gets executed, initially our process is present in the hard disk. Our program which you want to execute is initially present in the hard disk. Okay, we have to load it into the main memory if you want to execute this process 1. I am going to load it into the main memory. Okay, and at what time your process is coming from hard disk to main memory? Okay, we should know that at what point of time your process is coming into the main memory. Okay, even if you are going for giving board, okay, the way people are coming according to their order, the way people are coming, they are giving boards. Okay, they are giving boards according to their order. Their first come, first serve order. Okay, who has come first will give board first. So the order of arrival in the main memory is very important. Okay, the way all of your processes are coming in the main memory is very important. We should know when your process is coming into the main memory. Okay, so we should also take care of the arrival time. When any process arrives in the main memory, we should take care of it. Okay, so we have first time, process time is arrival time. When process comes into the main memory. So before watching this video, you watch Okay, we have next waiting time. So this is my CPU. We have many processes to be executed in main memory, like process 2, we have process 3. We want to execute all of these 3 processes. It has arrived at 10:50, it has arrived at 10:51, it has arrived at 10:52. Okay, so let's suppose I am running all these processes in the first come first serve order. This process has arrived first in the main memory, so I will be executing it first. Okay, I am giving this process to CPU. Okay, let's suppose this process 1 is MS Excel, this process 2 is MS Word, and this process 3 is Media Player. Okay, so when your process 1 is getting executed on the CPU, then all these 2 processes are waiting in the ready queue. They all are waiting in the ready queue. Okay, let's suppose process P1 want to execute on CPU for 4 minutes. Okay, now it is going to complete its execution on CPU at 10:54. This process 2 arrived at 10:51. This process 3 arrived in the main memory at 10:52. So it is going to wait for CPU for 3 minutes. Okay, because your process P1 is going to release CPU at 10:54. It is going to wait for 3 minutes, and this process 3 arrived at 10:52. So it is going to wait for 2 minutes. Okay, so this is actually our waiting time. How long your process is waiting in the main memory before getting executed on CPU. The first way is your process is waiting in the ready queue before getting executed on the CPU. Or what is the other way? Your process is waiting in the wait state or in the block state. Okay, when any process need any input or output. Okay, when any process need any input or output, it is going to go into the wait or block state. We discussed it in the last video. Both the times, either your process wait in the ready queue or it wait in the wait or block state. Okay, in both the cases, we will be calling it as a waiting time. Next, we have burst time. We call burst time as CPU time. Okay, we call burst time as CPU time. What is the meaning of CPU time? CPU time means how long your process wants to execute on CPU. Okay, what is the CPU time your process need? In this case, we discussed that CPU. In this case, we discussed that process 1 want to execute on CPU for 4 minutes. Okay, it arrived at 10:50 and it want to execute on CPU till 10:54. So 4 minutes is the burst time of process 1. It want to execute on CPU for 4 minutes. Okay, so it is actually your run state. When any process is present in the run state. Next, we have completion time. Next, we have completion time. option. Okay, when you click on close, your file gets closed. What you are doing? You are releasing your file from the main memory. You are releasing some space in the main memory. Okay, so this is actually our completion time. Okay, when you have completely executed your process, now you want to terminate. It is actually your terminated state. Okay, next we have a response time. What is the meaning of response time? Okay, when your process is getting response from the CPU for the first time. Okay, when your process was assigned CPU first time. Okay, we have three processes. Okay, we want to execute all these processes concurrently, parallelly. We are not executing one process completely, then second process. Then there is no way of doing multitasking. So, we are executing all these processes concurrently. Like we executed some instructions of process P1. Like I executed two instructions of process P1. Then I moved to process P2. I assigned CPU to process 2. Okay, so your response time is very less in this case. When any process is given CPU for the first time, we call this time as the response time. Okay, whatever CPU scheduling algorithms we will be studying, our main focus is we have to reduce the response time. What is the meaning of response time? Let's pause. Firstly, I clicked on Google Chrome. Then I click on Media Player. Okay. You know, when you double click on Google Chrome, you get some response that it is now opening. Okay. When you get response that it is opening, you just wait for some time. Okay. But if you don't get response even after clicking 1 to 2 times on the Google Chrome, then what happens? You feel irritated. You do again and again click on Google Chrome. Okay, so that is the actual purpose. We have to reduce our response time. Even if you are opening your 10 files at a time, we have to reduce the response time. Okay, because if you don't get response time faster, you will be doing again and again clicking on the same file. Okay, so we will be having problem in that case. We want to reduce the response time. Okay, next we have turnaround time. We have next turnaround time. Turnaround time means completion time minus arrival time. CPU. The entire process we call it as a turnaround time. Okay, so these are the very important parameters. With the help of these times, we will be discussing which algorithm is going to be the best one. Okay, so now let me give you one real life example of it so that you can understand it better. Let's suppose one person want to meet one officer in a department. Okay, we have one person, he want to meet officer of the department. So when he is coming in the department, we will calling it as a arrival time. Okay, what is the arrival time? When he is coming in the department. Okay, when he is coming in the department. So when person has come in the department, your officer might be busy in some important work. So this person has to wait for some time before meeting this officer. Okay, we will be calling it as a waiting time. It is going to wait in the department. Okay, we will be calling it as a waiting time. It is now waiting. Okay. Next, what happens? This officer has completed his work. Now this person is meeting to this officer. Okay. He just talked to him for some time, and let's suppose some another VIP is coming to meet this officer. Okay. Then what would happen? You will be asking this person to wait for some time. Firstly, this officer is going to meet this VIP. Okay. So now again this person has to wait for some amount of time in the department. Okay. Now this VIP is meeting to this officer. Okay. And what happens? Now again this person was given chance to meet this officer. Whatever this person wanted to talk to the officer, he has talked everything. Okay. Now he is leaving the department. Okay. He is leaving the department. Okay. So now let's try to understand all these terms from this example. What is your arrival time? When this person is coming in the department, we will be calling it as a arrival time. Waiting time, when this person is waiting in the department before meeting this officer. Okay. How long this person is waiting to meet the officer? We will be calling it as the waiting time. Burst time. Burst time means how long this person want to talk to this officer. Okay. How long he want to talk to this officer. How long he want to meet this officer. We will be calling it as a burst time. And what is the completion time? When this person has talked everything. He has met this officer, and whatever he wanted to talk to him, he has done everything. Now he is leaving the department. We will be calling it as the completion time. Okay, we will be calling it as the completion time. What is the response time? Response time means when this person was given first time response by the officer. When this person talked to this officer for the first time after coming into the department. Okay, because it is not that person came into the department, when this person arrived into the department, and when it is leaving the department, after whatever work he wanted to do, he has done everything, he has met officer, now he want to leave the department. So the intermediate time when he arrived in the department and when he is leaving the department, the intermediate time we call it as the turnaround time. How long he waited in the department, how long he talked to the officer, the complete time we will be calling it as a turnaround time. Okay, so on the basis of these times we will be determining which is the best algorithm, because we have a several number of algorithms. We will be discussing which is the best algorithm as per the requirement. Okay, so I hope that you are clear with process times. If you have any query, I have mentioned my email ID in the description box. You can contact me on that email ID. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel.